back, baby. Yeah. The way we winning, they gon' have to look away. I just stop pretending, know you feel some type of way. Yeah, I'm in my purpose, I don't know what else to say. Out the cage, I'm here to stay. Rolling up my sleeves. I am not playing, I'm not playing, I am not playing. Hear what I'm saying, I am not playing, I'm not playing, I am not playing.
It is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really say that thing out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Surprise. I know you are used to seeing me one time a week, but for whatever reason, I am investing my Saturday just for you. I love the Pusher chat because I believe that you are the best community in the city of Baltimore because you show up and you show out. So I thank you for allowing me to invade your space on this afternoon, this good Saturday. You could be doing anything, but yet you choose to push forward with your girl Pusher. Have you gotten your copy of It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal when people Pusher? What are you waiting for? Go over to pusherlife.org. Get your copy. Go to the office link. And did you take the pledge? Healing 1 million people, one person at a time. If not, travel over to pusherlife.org. You will see the Healing 1 million people link. I want you to hit that link and I want you to take that pledge. You're not taking a pledge for me. You're taking a pledge for yourself. You are making a commitment to put your growth and development as a priority. Why? Because we oftentimes show up for other people. We oftentimes pour out of ourselves to the point we feel broken, we feel used, we feel abused, we feel underappreciated. The only reason why we feel these emotions because we are pouring out of a cup that does not have enough for other people. So taking the pledge will enable you to make a conscious decision with other individuals who has chosen to choose themselves. See, we look at words like being selfish as something negative, as something spooky, but no, in this life, I have learned that there is a time for everything, and there is a time to be selfish, depending upon your perspective and where you at in your growth and development. But there is a time that you should focus on you. Why? Because you owe it to yourself. No one will be able to show up for you like you. And so the challenge is to go ahead, go over to pusherlife.org and take that pledge. Other than that, I do have something to say, and this is part 4. We're healing out loud. And as I've made the commitment I shared last week on the Wednesday show about, a process that I found myself going in. And when you think that you are struggling over one thing, and then as you go through a process, you realize that thing that was exaggerated, that was in front of you, really isn't the thing that is holding you back. You recognize that you are the problem. When you evaluate your situations, when you really take time to question why you made the decisions that you have made, keep in mind, everything that you think, feel, and believe is on you. No one else is responsible for your growth and development. It's on you. Sure, people can motivate you. People can encourage you. People can inspire you. People can push you. But if you're not willing to do the work, if you're not willing to choose you, if you're not willing to believe in you and your movement, if you're unable to see your value, if you are unable to see your self-worth, it's just seeds being planted. And prayerfully, they're being planted on good ground. Because let's just be honest, not everyone is receptive to this thing called growth and development. Not everyone is receptive to the challenge that comes with change. We like being comfortable, but yet we complain about being stagnated. We like being complacent, in a thing that is familiar. Yet we complain that there is no movement in our internal algorithm. We're chasing external things and wonder why things ain't moving and shaking in our lives the way that we want them to. And you are the author of your journey. People can say what they want to say at the end of the day, but understand you are the author. You are the creator of your narrative. Sure, people can take what they want to take out of it, but you are the creator. You are the one to set the standard. But yet we become complacent. But yet we put our focus on everything and everybody. We will show up and show out for somebody else. But when it comes to self, we are shaken and confused. And me, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out, what am I missing? What am I missing? Somebody tell me something. And now I'm at a place where I'm in my own re-entry journey. I am owning and recognizing that me saying that I have been incarcerated for 22 years isn't me just saying it just to be saying it because it sounds good. Because understand, I never want to do that again. So grateful for the woman that I've become. But when I look back, there are some things that I don't want to repeat. And being incarcerated is one of them. But I oftentimes, like right now in this process that I'm in, I have to really sit with myself and really say, girl, you really don't have it like you think. And guess what? Today is okay. Why? Because I've been incarcerated for 22 years. And even after being released, I belong to the system. It is not until now, coming up on year number 5, that I have accepted the fact that I have been incarcerated for 22 years. There is some trauma to unpack. And I found myself questioning myself. If I'm in a space where I feel like there's some stuff that I still got to deal with as it relates to being incarcerated. And y'all out here complaining, mad, angry, walking in unforgiveness, focused on other people, blame, shame, guilt in other people. And I'm like, God, I know I can't be the only one. I know that I can't be the only one that is saying I refuse to suffer in silence. I refuse to act like I know everything. I refuse to even act like I have experienced everything, because you got those people that I've encountered, and y'all gonna have to help me, because remember, I ain't got a lot of social experience like some of you all who has never been incarcerated, or even if you've been incarcerated and you haven't hit over 22 years. It's like comparing apples to oranges. And I'm finding myself questioning myself. Am I the alien? understanding that information is conducive to our growth and development. But information has no power if we don't take that information and do something with it. So when I show up in a room, I show up in a room expecting to receive something that will aid and assist me. If I walk into a room and I don't get that, one, you don't have to worry about me returning anytime soon. Two, the one thing you will have to worry about is the fact that I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I'm going to ask a lot of questions because I don't know. And if I don't know, I will not know if I don't have the courage to ask the question. Sure, it may sound silly to other people. Sure, it may not be in that moment important for other people. But understand, I would never rob myself, never ever again, of an opportunity for obtaining something that I desire, receiving something that I need. My very healing is dependent upon it. And so I'm challenged to ask you, what are you doing with the freedom that you have? Somebody got to say it. Because we're focused on the wrong thing. Understand, me in this moment, right now, is different. Today, April the 26th, 2025. I ain't got my glasses on, so I can't see the time. 1:57 p.m. is a day that I've never seen before. Seconds and minutes and within an hour that I had never experienced before. Understanding that every now and then I got to take a step back and just say, thank you, God. Why? Because I remember getting off of my bunk, not my bed, my bunk, standing up and the walls right there, the toilet's right there, the door is right there. But yet today I can get up and move. I don't have to depend on nobody to open my door, to let me in and out. Greater the pain, greater the passion. And I know that I'm not everyone's flavor. And I understand that not everyone wants to hear what I have to say, but I only speak when I got something to say. And today, I got something to say. Why? Because my healing is dependent upon it. And if my healing is dependent upon it, your healing is dependent upon it. I only speak directly to the receptive. At one time in my life, I was so caught up with the idea and the quantity. So caught up. It broke my heart, devastated, disrupt my emotional being when people didn't show up. Being incarcerated, and I'm changing my life, and I'm doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, and yet there's still people not showing up that I want to show up. Disrupting my whole internal environment. Going through that has enabled me to appreciate not the quantity, but the quality. And because I know in me is something greater than anything that is outside of me. In this moment, I'm activating my faith. You may ask how. I'm glad you asked. I didn't send a link I didn't tell anyone what I was going to do. I'm just simply doing it. Why? Because sometimes you got to challenge yourself. Do you really mean what you say? And do you really say what you mean? So if one person show up, I'll talk to that one person like it is a million people. Why? Because that's the mission. And the one person is always me first. Why is this important? Why do I repeatedly say this? Because if I don't show up for me first, you get another version of me. You don't get the authentic me. See, I like when I show up in my own insecurities and push through it. See, I appreciate the moments and the times when I had to activate my own faith and let God do what he do. Why? Because he hasn't failed me yet. So when I get tripped up in my own emotions and I start concerning myself with things that are outside of my control, I got to check in. Who am I checking in with? Myself. Why is this important? Why am I saying this to you? Because I had to say it to myself. And I don't gatekeep information. Whatever works for me, I'm going to share it. Why? Because I took on the commitment to heal out loud. I live what I do and I do what I live. See, if I never told you that I was incarcerated for 22 years, you would not have known that. But because I'm in a place in my life where I understand when I am speaking from my trauma versus when I'm speaking from a healed place. And see, that's important to me. Because if I don't get a handle on that, if I don't become self-aware of that and disciplined enough to hold myself accountable, and even when I feel the feelings, the emotions that comes with it, then I don't know what you're going to get. If you piss me off, I don't know what you're going to get. If my feelings is hurt, I don't know what you're going to get. If I'm not getting what I want when I want it, I don't know what you are going to get. Why am I saying this? Because most of us, we walk around here like we got it all together. And I'm trying to figure out why. Because those that are in position to aid and assist you will aid and assist you. Because God will lead them there. But we don't give them a chance. Because we show up in a way in which that falsifies what we really think, feel, and believe in that moment. And I'm telling you, from a sincere place, I refuse to suffer in silence. Even when it's me disrupting my internal environment, I refuse to. Why? Because my healing is dependent upon it. I'm telling you, that's why we encourage, get that book. It takes one to know one workbook and journal. It's not just something to put on your coffee table or something to say, I'm a purchase and support you. No, this is for you. In fact, the first person that MDM me, I will personally send you a copy. Why? Because your growth and development is dependent upon your decisions. I'm telling you, we on to something. I'm telling you right now, I'm speaking from an insecure place. I had to have several conversations with myself today to get to this point, to get the nerve to say exactly what's in my heart and in my mind. It's too many people to call that I want to say the same thing to. But sometimes in my life, I recognize me talking to people directly, they just don't get it. But they seem to get it when I'm talking to somebody else. So whatever works. Whatever works. And here's a topic that has one of the things that I am going to start doing, especially when I feel compelled to say something. I am going to bring up things that people have been DMing me about, questions that people have been asking since we have started this journey. And the one common denominator that always seems to draw me back is the question of family. Sure, we have experienced hardships, disappointments. We all have, family or no family. We've all, if you have a family, if you have a tribe that you share a DNA with, I'm sure that's trauma. It may not consume you, but the reality is we all have family trauma. It just is what it is. I don't care what it looked like, but if every individual in each family in the womb of the universe really sit with themselves and unpack what motivates them, why they act the way they act, why they think the way they think. Most people gonna go back to their childhood, something from their childhood, their upbringing. Therapists used to get on my nerves, used to ask me every time I got a situation, I'm going through something, they always want to ask you about your childhood. But now as the person that leads people, that sit and coach people, I definitely understand why they always act frustrated me. I'm something terrible. And I'm like, that don't have nothing to do with nothing, but really it does. It really does. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you fit in on the spectrum. If you are a human being, you have family trauma. But understand this. I've learned, I think it's important for me to just continue to reiterate and remind people that I am talking to, that I have been in prison for 22 years. And so, greater the pain, greater the passion. The tenacity and level of determination that I have for myself can't be compared to anyone else. Why am I saying this? Because no one's journey is identical to another. I have a twin, and his story is not my story, and my story isn't his story. We grew up in the same trauma, but his story is still different than mine because his relationships were different than mine. And being able to unpack that helped me understand that as an individual, your journey really is unique to you. It really is. It's unique to you. And once you begin to realize that your journey is unique to you, you will begin to understand that the people that you encounter, family, friend, or foe, their journey is unique to them as well. Your lessons are your lessons. His or her lessons is his or her lessons. We are focused on the wrong thing. We are choosing what side of the conversation we want to be on every time we open our mouth and start talking. Every word you utter, you are responsible for that. You are. I'm saying you, but I'm really talking to me. I'm really just I'm really just allowing you into my space, into my process, allowing you to see in real life and in real time that before I can pop out and show anybody, I gotta first pop out and show myself. And so as I become more honest with myself, it forces me to be honest in my communication with other people. Why am I sharing this? Think about it. I challenge you. When was the last lie you told yourself? I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm talking about you. When was the last lie? And tell the truth. This ain't about, I can't even see you. I don't even know if anybody's really watching. When was the last time you told yourself a lie? Now let me ask you this. After you told yourself the lie, what was the ramifications of that? What was the consequence internally? Remember, I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm talking about you. Internally. What did you feel afterwards? What did you think after the fact? See, sometimes you if not all the time, you got to check in with yourself. We watching all these podcasts, and I watch them. I do. I don't even think I watch regular TV. Lord help me, pray for me. But I like learning. And because I understand myself, I understand people. And it does help that I went to school, to educate myself, to understand myself, and in turn, understanding people. But my challenge to you is to begin to examine you. You find yourself asking yourself, how did I get here? Just simply answer the question. You find yourself by yourself. You feel lonely. You feel like you lacking validation. And I'm saying you probably are lacking. Why? Because you're seeking outward when you should be seeking inward. No one will be able to give you that which you need. All the answers to your questions is within you. We read so many self-help books. We attend so many conferences or just conversations. Don't even have to be on that level. We indulge in many different things. But do we ever really, rarely tell the truth as it is, when it is time to be honest, to tell the truth? No. Why? Fear, insecurities, self-judgment. Because remember, at the end of the day, it ain't about the people. It ain't about the people. It's you. Because you have control over what you think, feel, and or believe. Really, you do. understanding that I'm not proclaiming to be anything other than who I am, which is Asabi, which is Swahili for she is of choice earth. I just recognize my attribute and who I am, and I'm just choosing to walk in it. And as I'm choosing to walk in it, God just gives me the courage to speak from my heart, no matter who shows up, no matter who responds. Why? Because at the end of the day, my healing is dependent upon it. My healing. And so for whoever finds themselves on the hamster wheel, you find yourself over and over in a cycle over and over again. I want to assure you that all you have to do is just stop. Whatever it is, just take a moment and just stop. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. And then remind yourself how much oxygen you have wasted with counterproductive interactions and conversations. See, I can say that because I was forced to have that conversation with myself. Why? Because my lungs has been threatened. See, when I was silent, blood clots in my lungs, breathing through a tube. See, when I felt myself at that place, that's when I began to recognize, although I have a right to remain silent, there is no time for it in this season. And every time I open my mouth, there's the insecurity that words may not come out. What a lot of people don't know is having blood clots in your lungs. And whether they dissolve or not, your lungs will never, ever be the same again. One would think that I would get back involved in a relationship with insecurity and begin to give myself a pity party. Yet, you know what I do? I push through it. As long as there's sound, I would never deny God to have access to my vocal cords, which is why I do not allow unnecessary chatter around me, which is why every word that proceeds out of your mouth, I am listening. Why? Because first, I got to protect me. And I recognize that not every conversation is for me. Sure, I have accomplished a lot of things while incarcerated. But the decisions that I make when it comes to utilizing my voice ain't for that. So even when I'm indulging in conversations and people are trading off of accolades and all the things that they've accomplished, I am silent. At one time, I was silent because I was insecure. But now I recognize I'm just practicing my right to remain silent. Why? Because if healing isn't coming out of the conversation, if encouragement isn't coming out of the conversation, then why am I indulging in it? See, this is how I have to talk to myself. Because if I don't have these kind of conversations with myself, then I can get tripped up. And now I'm wasting not only my time, but my oxygen. I say all that to say, hopefully, that if you didn't get it, hopefully you'll get it tomorrow, or just go over your head. But I assure you, if you DM me, I will break it down to you to a science. I swear I will. Well, I am only an expert at my own journey, at my own growth and development. I control the narrative in my life, in my journey. So again, it is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really say that thing out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Do not forget that your girl, Pusher, is doing some amazing things. I do not want you to follow me. I want you to heal with me. And with that said, I want you to go over to PUS'HERlife.org. Go over to PUS'HERlife.org and just click on the buttons to see what it is that we've been up to see the changes that we have made. And I'm telling you, God is just amazing. I want you to tap in every Wednesday at 6:30. You will meet me here. We will be streaming live. And every now and then I will be healing out loud, because I definitely have something to say, and not just on Wednesday. And so I appreciate you for allowing me to invade your space on this Saturday afternoon. With that said, I want you to tap in, and I appreciate everyone, because you could have been anywhere, but yet you chose to push forward with your girl. And it is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really say that thing out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Have you gotten your copy of It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal and People Pusher? No, then travel over to PUS'HERlife.org, go to the author's page, and you will find It Takes One to Know One and People Pusher. Come tap in.